If I had $140 billion, I'd have a left hand. Fuck that. Shit. Wouldn't have to hold this like a fucking teddy bear. Hey. Shit, man. First things first, I'm not going to Topgolf. Don't invite me. It's the truth. I've had 7 people this month ask me to go to Topgolf. Grown-ass men look me straight in the eyes and be like, hey, we're getting together at Topgolf. You want to go? And I said yes. It specifically asked for left-handed clubs. It's crazy, man. I had the chick at the register so stressed out, man. She was about to have an aneurysm. That's for real. She was like, does anybody in your party need left-handed clubs? I was like, I do. And she was like, really? I was like, yeah. And I was like, no, I'm just kidding. And she was like, oh, wait, did you really need them? And I was like, yeah. So like, we get to like our little like, whatever you call that, hangar booth thing where you could fall off and die. I don't know why that's still a thing. And she brings the left-handed gloves. And I'm just swinging them. I got 4 points. It's not a lot, but anyway, that's life, man. I was at a bar a couple weeks ago, and there's this dude just sitting there by himself at the end of the bar, nobody beside him. And so my like very happy self was like, he probably wants somebody to sit beside him, even though he probably didn't. But he was over there just flipping through a Rubik's Cube. And so I sat next to him, and I was like, hey, man, that's pretty cool. And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. And he was like, you want to see something really cool? And I was like, yeah. So he hands me the Rubik's Cube, and he's like, mix this up. And I was like, I'm the worst dude to ask to mix up a Rubik's Cube. So I flipped it like 4 times. He solved it. I was like, good job, dude. Must have been hard. Man. So, yeah, that's my life. I lost my hand really about 5 years ago. I was 19, and I was in Germany. I was working on a farm over there, and it was a crazy electrical accident. This is a true story. I wasn't bit by a shark, which would be a whole lot cooler. But, no, so I lost the 20,000 volts, went in my left hand, and kind of exploded out a bunch of other parts. My penis is fine, if you're wondering. But anyway, I was in the hospital there. My mom flew over, and she was with me the whole time. And I eventually decided to amputate my left hand because there was nothing much you could do for it. And my mom came in the room after I talked with the doctor. She said, Sam, I know it's a hard decision, and I know that you're young, and I want to give you my left hand to do a hand transplant so you could still play guitar and do a bunch of other things. She really did offer. This is a true story. And I just looked at my mom, and I was like, that is the sweetest thing you could ever do for me. But I just could not live with myself. I had the same hand that got freaky with my dad, you know. Yeah. Seriously, like, I think what makes it more awkward is that my parents are divorced. So my dad might, you know, just call me up for old time's sake. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of a thing. Yeah, so that's where I am right now. It's kind of cool. You can do things with one hand that other people can't do, like make the refs in soccer feel really horrible. Specifically, I joined a soccer league here in Huntingsville with one goal in mind, is just to get as many handballs as possible. Just make the ref feel really awkward when he calls. It's kind of my thing. It's fun, man. It's cool. But yeah, that's life. So now I moved to Huntsville probably, it's about a year and a half ago. I like it down here. It's pretty cool. But there's one thing for sure that people down here don't really get, and it's just that so it's the most awkward part of the show, but I think that black dudes need to be careful how they talk to white dudes. A lot of you guys' sphincters just shrinked up a lot right there because I'm white. And that's true, because there's very few things in this world that make a white dude feel cooler than when a black dude calls him brother. Let me explain. I was at the gas station the other day holding the door open for this guy, and he says, "Thanks, brother." And my world slowed down and my eyes glazed over, and I started thinking about having mixed babies. It's true. And I almost went out and bought a Mercury Grand Marquis. I just went in the gas station and bought a couple Black & Milds and a bottle of Hennessy and went and fucked up the club that night. And it's just kind of how it was. It's true, though, man. White people we're different, man. We got to, prepare, adapt, you know? We see adapt coming up, and in our mind, we get a calculation. We're like, shit, it's got to come here. Do I grab? I don't know. It's just not that cool. We can't even handle spicy food is, a thing I'm trying to say. That's the truth, man. Some white dudes try to, yeah, I eat hot wings, but I just think about our ancestors from England and Europe when they came over here. They were trying to get to India to get more spices, and they landed in America and tried pumpkins for the first time, and they were like, "This is some spicy shit." We made it. We got here, dude. They got pumpkin spice. That's stupid, man. Really can't. Our buttholes can't handle it, is all I'm trying to say. Asian people, though, they got the toughest buttholes ever. That shit is like leather. It's the truth. They can handle it. Man. Oh. Where do I go from here? Just kidding. I know exactly where I go from here. Nah, man. It's cool. You guys like Chick-fil-A? Kind of. Maybe a little bit. I like Chick-fil-A. I don't go there as much, though, because it makes me feel awkward. I went there for the first time when I got a prosthetic hand. It was like this mechanical hand. And I was like, I'm going to flex on this 16-year-old kid. And I'm going to grab this sweet tea from this kid with this robotic hand. So he hands me this sweet tea, and I go to grab it, and it just crushes the cup. Just sweet tea everywhere. And the kid's like, "Sir, would you like another drink?" And I was like, "What do you think, dude?" So he gets me another drink, and he hands me my sauces and my table cone, all this kind of stuff. And I'm trying to carry it, you know. And he looks at me, obviously struggling. And he's like, "Sir, do you need any assistance?" And I was like, "Does it look like I need assistance?" He was like, "No, I didn't mean to be rude." I was like, "Yeah, carry my stuff to the table, please." So he carries it to the table. We sit down to get all my stuff. And he's like, "Sir, do you need any more help?" And I was like, "Yeah, open the sauce. Dip the French fry. And put it in my mouth." And this little kid is feeding me. I'm rubbing him with my nub while he's feeding me. Just very sensual. He gets my last French fry, puts it in my mouth, and I look up at him. I say, "Thank you." And he just looks down. He says, "My pleasure." Yeah. So it's just a little awkward at Chick-fil-A from now on, you know. I don't really like it, but anyway. Thank you guys so much. My name is Sam Murphy. You guys have been wonderful.